Welcome to Chanel World Story 22, Chanel that always discusses the history of countries around the world. On this occasion, Chanel World Story 22 will discuss the history of prostitution in Indonesia during the Dutch colonial era. Prostitution during the Dutch colonial era was very popular in Indonesia. Because there are so many indigenous women who become the gratifiers of this long-nosed lust. Then what is the story of prostitution during the Dutch colonial era in Indonesia? Before proceeding to the discussion, don't forget to support this channel by liking, commenting, subscribing and sharing. Prostitution is the oldest business in the world, even compared to the age of the independent Republic of Indonesia in 1945. Since the beginning of the Dutch occupation, prostitution is the most popular form of entertainment, even with the controversy. However, prostitution is very private. By the Dutch, the presence of sex workers or lonte is even described as a necessary evil. Lonteku, a necessary crime. At the beginning of the Dutch trading company VOC conquered Jakarta and built Batavia in 1619, the lack of European women became a problem. The reluctance of the central leader of the VOC, Heren Zeventian so. For Heren Zeventian, the long journey full of risks to the archipelago made them prohibit the shipping of women, except for high officials of the VOC. The dignitaries were allowed to bring their wives and children to the colony. However, the Governor-General of the VOC, who served twice, 1619-1623 and 1627-1629, Jan Pieterszoon Cohen did not accept the reason. Cohen, known as a fanatical Calvinist, wanted Heren Zeventian to send good women to Batavia. In his letter, Cohen emphatically wrote that everyone knows that humans cannot live without good women if they want to create a more civilized colony society. Your Highness, if you can't send good women who have been married, please send young women, and we hope it will be better than our experience dating older women, Cohen wrote in one of his letters. Quoted by Jean Gelman Taylor in the book Social Life in Batavia, 2009. However, what Cohen wanted was not realized perfectly by Heren Zeventian. As a result, Batavia became an area with many men and few European women. The Dutch people in Europe began to turn their brains and try various tricks to channel their libido. First, for those who have a lot of money, it is easy to bring a wife or lover from the Netherlands. Second, if the money collected is still small, then they will take indigenous women as concubines as an option. Third, for those who have money and are too lazy to take concubines, brothels are the right choice. 7 years after Batavia was founded, precisely in 1625, brothels flourished. Quoted by the Dutch historian Leonard Blas, the reason for the flourishing of prostitution is none other than the fact that the city of Batavia became a rendezvous, date place for foreign sailors. So that brothels thrive in Batavia, which are located in front of the fort in the fish market area, said Leonard Blas in the book Persekutuan Aneh. Chinese settlers, Peranakan women and the Dutch in Batavia VOC, 1988. Those who work as sex workers are often categorized as street prostitutes. There is also a form of prostitution that is disguised in the form of slavery and self-pawning. Because of the combination of slavery and pawning, sex workers in Batavia meet matchmakers or prostitutes who are generally called maimi. Therefore, at the beginning of the Netherlands in Batavia, it was Europeans who opened many brothels. Hendrik E. Niemeyer in the book Batavia. Colonial Society of the 17th Century, 2012, revealed a famous brothel at that time like the De Bearbite Inn owned by Hubert Eselstein. The popularity was obtained because Hubert's brothel was the most frequently recorded in the local court archives. The inn is located a little far from the city wall. On Jalan Jakarta, now Jalan Jakarta, and is not only famous as a place of prostitution, but also as a fighting arena, a fencing arena, and as a destination for hair braiding, wrote Hendrik E. Niemeyer. Not only Hubert, another European citizen, Andries also opened a brothel in Batavia. Not kidding, the local court accused Andries of pimping black sex workers in his home. In the court report, the sex workers were trained to be proficient in serving the guests who were average soldiers and sailors by Andries. However, brothels are not only businesses owned by Europeans. An Asian woman named Sarah Van LeMay is also interested in the benefits of the prostitution business. Sarah, who lives outside the Batavia fortress, is known to manage a brothel. Sarah's business is quite successful. Because Sarah not only colonizes Asian girls but also presents Dutch women. One of them is Lisbeth Jans, from Rotterdam. He is well known by the court. In 1692, he was arrested while having sex with 3 drunken sailors. Lisbeth was exiled for many years in Tanjung Harapan, South Africa, and was held for 7 years in a women's prison in Batavia. However, he was still interested in the city of Batavia. As soon as he was released, he immediately returned to his original life path. His indecent behavior is considered to tarnish the good name of the Dutch nation, added the famous Dutch historian, Hendrik E. Niemeyer. Meanwhile, there is the first concentration of prostitution in Batavia for the upper class. The area is called Macau Po. An important figure in the history of Jakarta, Alwi Shahab, confirmed that. He said that Macau Po is a brothel that consists of one-story houses that used to be located in front of Jakarta City Station.